Hello everyone, my name is Roger Buskill and I'll be your instructor in ELFH 575 Instructional Technology. With this introductory video, we'll go through the website, the Blackboard site, and show you where everything is. Briefly explain my expectations and some of the assignments. The first thing that you see here is the first announcement, and it does show the textbooks. Either one of these e-learning or science of instruction textbooks will be okay, or either one of these better than bullet points. So you need one each of those. Whenever I create an announcement, I will automatically duplicate that as an email. So you'll get that on any mobile device that you have. Then you should always go back and probably check the announcement though, because every once in a while, depending upon the version phone or tablet that you have, the graphics might not come in correctly. Of course, we do have the syllabus and it is finished, so you can download it there. Okay, so let's look at the assignments themselves. What are you going to be graded on? First of all, you're going to have a weekly personal journal, and what you'll simply do is write in that journal what you've learned for each one of the weeks. I've got 15 weeks here, and this is just a sample. What you'll do is actually create your own journal entry that will start looking something like this. So you just explain what you did in week one and so forth. So what you will do is simply from here create a journal entry, title it your last name, maybe spell it correctly, week one, and then type in a paragraph or so about what you learned that week. You'll post the entry, and in this case it'll come up with your last name. I can then click that and I'll read your entry. The next week what you will do is go into it. So what you will do, you will actually edit that every week. So you will click your name down here, the edit button. You'll notice that week one and whatever you wrote about it in week one will show up. Week two, write about week two, of course, and then post entry. And now when I look at it, it'll have both of your week's entries. So that's how you use the learning journal. Only yours will be called your last name personal learning journal. And that'll be worth 10 points on your final grade. So it'll be personal between yourself and me. Nobody else will see it. But I will be able to see, of course, all of them as they are listed down through here for all of the students. So that's the first assignment, and that's a weekly one. These three are actually grayed out because they're not ready yet. What you will have is there's going to be 3 online quizzes involved for different chapters. So the first evaluation is for chapters 1 and 2, and that ESI, that's the e-learning and science of instruction book, and that's where all 3 of these quizzes will come from. So they'll be interspersed throughout the semester, as you'll see. And then you're going to have 4 discussion board questions. The first one is due on September 14th, and it has to do with research. So all you'll do there is click into the discussion board itself, which will be here. Here's the instructions for the discussion board. Click into it, create your thread, answer that question, and then after a couple of days, you'll go back and respond to or reply to at least one other student's post. So these are the 4 different discussion questions, and they'll have different due dates throughout the semester as we move on in the semester. I do have a question and answer discussion board here for any technical issues you have. Go ahead and put your question there, especially these first few weeks. I will be looking at that daily. And if you have a question, you might want to check that first. Another student might have already had that same question, and I will have answered it by then. So I do have a Q&A forum here. So that's what's on the discussion boards, the Q&A forum, and then these four discussion boards are graded. You get 2 points for your answer, and then a half a point when you respond to another student's post. So that's the discussion board. You're going to put together an introductory video. And what that's going to be is you're going to create it putting your picture in a PowerPoint slide and narrating it with a voiceover for that slide. Just a very simple introduction to yourself. But then you're also going to do the same thing using a piece of software called Powtoons, and you'll create something very similar. And there'll be instructions on that as we move into the semester. But one of the things that I've created is called a multimedia sharing blog. So what you will do is you're going to create your own blog, just like I did here. So I've actually got 2 items in this now. It's a Powtoon that I created, and which is you would copy and paste the link, and then just a little PowerPoint intro slide show that I have here. So these are the first 2 that you will have in your particular blog. So you would create your blog entry, title it with your last name, and simply upload the file by clicking your PowerPoint by clicking the Insert File button. And then with your Powtoon link, you would simply paste the link in, and then you would post the entry. But I'm going to cancel it for right now. So, and we'll be doing more of those so that we can share what we're doing in some of our training interventions and such. So back to the assignments again. You're going to write an educational technology review, and that's just going to be just a few paragraphs, and you can read the instructions here, but it's a research article review that's related to the integration of technology in the workplace. So you want to do it in APA format, so you'll also have a citation, the summary of the article, a personal comment or critique. So you have at least the introductory paragraphs explaining the research, and a paragraph explaining your interpretation and conclusions. There again, I'm looking for APA style, and it has to be submitted as a Word file here because then it goes through the Safe Assign process. As a policy, if you didn't write it, cite it, so you want to have a good citations for the internet reference. And then we have some training interventions. And this is simply going to be one that you will use Screencast-O-Matic on, which is a software that we'll be using to capture screen activities. And it'll simply be explaining how, or demonstrating how to log into a piece of software. So there'll be other training intervention levels. The second one, the training intervention 2, it's going to be using questioning techniques with PowerPoint. And then training intervention 3, this is going to be more involved. We'll probably do what's called a Pecha Kucha there. So you can kind of take a look at that, but that's not due towards the end of the semester. And then your homework assessment, you'll just look at the rubric for the details on that, or the homework assessment task itself. But it's basically a online training intervention based on either ELFH 311 or 312. So this would be converting that into a online piece using a video format. And there'll be more information about that as we progress in the semester also. My classroom management technique is that every week I will give information about that particular topic, And most of them have a video related to that topic. In other words, here's one for chapter 1, another one for e-learning itself, and this ESI again is e-learning and science of instruction. This one is an MP4 that shows you about PowerPoint navigation techniques and so forth. So all of these videos are related to the different chapters that we will study in not only e-learning and science of instruction, but also the Better Than Bullet Points PowerPoint book. And there's a few more. There's a one on Gar Reynolds, top 10 slide tips. Here's an actual training intervention one that a former student demonstrated, so he allowed me to use that. So there's a lot of videos, and so I will refer to those as I give homework. Obviously, you want to read the chapter material, which will be explained, and then I'll give my interpretation of some of it. So along with the chapter readings, there's associated videos with most all of them. There are a few course documents. There's one that explains the relationship of the hat with a video and the hat supporting document. So some of these are samples of with extra reading. Here's one on APA, one on copyright. So there's a few associated files there along with the course videos. So all of the assignments are listed here. We do have some course documents. All the course videos that are my lectures, if you will, are here. We have our multimedia sharing blog, and then the discussion boards themselves, along with the Q&A. So that's all for now, but I do want to just take a quick look at the syllabus. I'm not going to go through all of it, but it does list the major content. I do expect everything to be on time, but there is a late work disclaimer there. And these are a little bit more explanation with the points values for each one of the assignments. And then the criteria here again is totaled up. The grading scale itself, some technology expectations. We're going to be using Screencast-O-Matic and Powtoons. Obviously, you'll need to be able to use live text. And then here's the hat itself. That's the 30-point final, if you will. So you'll actually have an e-learning lesson module, which will contain the module rationale. This will be a Word document, along with your course objectives and your technology integration plan. Those items will be in a Word document. And then the next few will be your multimedia learning module itself, and it'll be in the form of a PowerPoint or video. So how well did you apply the multimedia principles, the e-learning module itself, and how well you follow the process. So the Hallmark assessment task is in two different types of files. One is the Word document that gives the rationale, course objectives, and your technology integration plan. And then the other one will be graded, which is your video file or a combination of that in PowerPoint with the application of the multimedia principles, your e-learning lesson module itself, and how well you follow the process. So getting back to our main page. Okay, so that's all I have for now. I'll be having a lot of conversations with you via email and the announcements as the week progresses. So look for that first announcement giving a bit more information in more detail about the semester. So that's all for now.